All right. What up, Gooder Gang? We've got a great show, a jam-packed show. They are all waiting. So let's get this thing started, shall we? We've got 4 Jack qualifiers on tonight. Let's go.
Well, hello there. How you doing? I'm Aaron Leslie with Texas Oil Dust, and today you're watching the So Smoking Gooder Show.
That's right, Mr. Aaron Leslie with Texas Oil Dust. Thank you very much for that intro. What up, Gooder Gang? You know what time it is. It is 8 o'clock, and you know where to be. That is right here on your YouTube, Facebook, and some of you guys are watching on Twitch. That's right. Well, my name is Rob Arocha, and I'm coming to you from the Bullhorn headquarters in Cypress, Texas. I am damn glad that you guys found us either on the Facebook, the YouTube, or the Twitch. What is up, everybody? We have a jam-packed show tonight. We've got 4 Jack qualifiers. These guys work their tails off all year long. They have qualified. We're going to go over what that means because it's a big deal. But before we get to any and all of that, let me introduce you to my show partner, Mr. Case Hahn. What is up, Case?
What's up?
How you doing, buddy?
I am fired up for this show.
Are you? I'm glad you're fired up. We missed you, man. We missed you
last week. I talked to you earlier today. You know I'm fired up for this show. So
yeah. Well,
what's up, everybody? Good to be back with y'all. What was I doing last? Oh, I was at a concert last week. So sorry, everybody. Shell and I were actually at the same concert, so Shell was also not watching the show. So I was at Kima rocking out to John Stork, and I was having a fantastic time. Sorry I missed everybody last week. Shell also says she missed you, but not very much.
Well, we did miss you. sorry that you had to miss that, but I would also probably like to be at a John Stork concert. We need to get John on. I say it all the time, but let's do it, Case. Let's make sure that happens. But shout out to Miss Belle Clark from JC's Good Old Boys. She was our special guest host. We were live from the Tomball VFW drink. We had a great time down there. We actually had a live studio audience. It brought us back to the time that we started the show. And speaking of starting the show, I know we got some new people watching tonight. We're already up to 50 viewers tonight. So that was very special. For those that don't know, Case and I have been doing this show for 5 years. This July, we started in 2017, and we recently just had our 5-year anniversary. We had a lot of people come out to the Rose Hill Beer Garden in Cypress, Texas. So whoever maybe didn't see last week that attended, thank you very much for doing that, for being there. That was awesome. We had a great time. For those that don't know, it was also hijacked, the party was. In Case, I want to give you a public thank you for allowing that to happen. My wife was behind the scenes the entire time as I'm planning this 5-year party. She's going, and whoever acknowledged that they were going to be there, she was sending notes saying, it's also a 50th surprise birthday party. And Case,
and I managed to not ruin it by just not talking about the party at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Either one of the parties.
Y'all get a good look at this face. This is the last time you'll see it as a 40-year-old or in my 40s. I am. Tomorrow is my official birthday. I know I'm old. I got this damn tennis bullshit elbow thing that's going on. I'm old officially, and this is my final day, so I wanted to share it with all of the Gooder gang. This is my final day in my 40s. So that said, we've got a great show. You heard me talk about we have a jam-packed show, and I promised that we'd get these guys in and out because a lot of them, there's 3 of them that have to wake up super early. I don't know what the hell's going on with these guys. Phil Breeden is going to be on the show later tonight, Mr. Play the Clip himself. Let's give a quick shout out to the chat, which is what we do. Jared McCrory was first in. What's up? Michael Sistruck, hello. Jesse Lynn, Laura Davis, Britt Davis, Rockin' A Grill and Supplies, Sean Schrainer. This is going to be a jacked up show. I see what you did there. Rub and Meat Competition Barbecue Team. We got Tim Crawford, my Rec Tech homie over there. Robert Michelle is in the house. Chris Webb, what is up? All the way from Denver. How are you doing, buddy? We got Dennis Jones, Michelle Castillo. What is up? Kenny Mahon, Stephen Williams. I hope you're doing better, buddy. Yui Braun. All right, Bobby Ghetto. I'm not going to run it all over, but Tom and Bell are watching. There we go. All right, we're almost done. Jen Lee, Judge Webb, and Dustin Stanley. Hello from the barbecue store. Yes, we know what you mean there. All right, that was cool. And before we get to our first guest, we always have to give a shout out to our sponsors. And this is something that we are going to do. We're going to have sponsored segments. So instead of running down the list of sponsors, we are going to have sponsor segments. So this first segment will be sponsored by Cosmos Q Products. I use this all the time in my competition game. I love the product. They've got chicken injections. Oh, not chicken. They got injections, brine, sauces, glazes. They actually have some cool accessories. If you guys need any product that you can't find at your barbecue store, at the barbecue store, hit them up. Cosmos Q Products. It's doing well for me this year on the competition scene. Well, for the last 2 or 3 years, I love it. It's a good product. Cosmo and the whole crew over there, Rick Schultz, they do a great job, and I'm proud to be on Team Cosmo. All right, we got one of them out of the way. Case, let's bring on our very first guest of the evening. His name is Randall Kendrick. He's with Hideaway Ranch Cookers, and he just got his auto draw, or it's not an auto draw. He earned this damn thing. That's what we're going to talk about. That. What's up, Randall? How are you doing tonight, bub?
All right, Rob. How y'all doing, guys?
We are great. This is your first time on the show. Thank you very much for being. I know we did that one thing over at Robert's deal that was not an official show. We were just kind of out there hanging out. But yes. For those that don't know you, and we got some other people from around the country watching tonight because we got Schafer on later tonight. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell the people who you are, buddy?
Hey, guys. Randall Kendrick of Singleton, Texas. Just a Louisiana boy who moved his family here to come and, man, just enjoy this great state and the game of barbecue that we so love to play. And heck, so far it's worked out really well for us with the support that I get from, not only my family, but my friends and just this barbecue family that we have.
I'd say it's working out very well for you. You haven't been on the scene very long, right? When did you start doing competition barbecue, and how'd you get into it real quick?
I would say my official start to competition barbecue, I'd say I really started competing once I moved to Texas, right about 2 years ago. Before that, it was just about once a month, if I was lucky, make the trip from Louisiana to come do a comp. And to start off, it was just a family thing. My Uncle Judd got me into it and just kind of let me have it from there.
2 years ago, Case. Did you hear that?
Yes.
And he's already earned his way.
I feel like I'm way behind on my barbecue career.
How's that make you feel, Case?
No, that's awesome, man. So, 2 years got at it. When did you realize, hey, this is something I'm really, really good at? Or was there a certain time where was there struggles early on? We had, Caleb Borden on here, and he said, man, I went to cook off and, man, I just, I really sucked, but I said, man, I had fun. I can do this. Did it come easy? Did it come hard? When did you say, you know what? Not only you had a remarkable year. When did you realize not only am I good at it, I'm better than a lot of people?
You're not gonna have. He's not gonna say that.
No, sir. I tell you, I just love cooking. I love cooking. I love being in that trailer. I love barbecuing. I love competing. It's man, it's so much fun. Getting those calls. That's just the most amazing feeling. You put all the work and effort into it during the course of the week. And to go to that cook-off, whatever one you choose to go to, and just put your best boot forward, and man, to actually get that call, it just still gives me goosebumps.
Absolutely. So you had a hell of a year. Did you chase points towards the end of last year? When did you start, like Case mentioned, getting that bug to want to go out there and compete each and every week? Because as I've found out in the last couple of years, that's a big commitment to. You mentioned your family with the support. That's a big commitment to go out there each and every week and compete, and especially early on, maybe in your first year. When did you take on to the fact, all right, well, here's where I stand? What time was that whenever you wanted to go and chase? If you did last year, I believe you did, right?
Man, it was just this past January. My uncle and my wife, they were just kind of looking at things, and they had pointed out a few things where I was at, where I was sitting in IBCA and how many GCs I had, and kind of looked at it. I was like, wow, something we really hadn't paid much attention to. And from that point on, we just kind of discussed it, that we were going to see what we could do, just give it our best shot and see if we can't make something happen.
So there's a lot of cooks that are going to finish in the top 10 of CBA, IBCA. What if Outlaw has a top 10? I think they have 8 cooks. But you have when you start to narrow down the elite field, that's an automatic qualifier for the Jack. When did that start to hit you that this was a realization? And, we see the points, we start to look at it, but man, all of a sudden, walk us through how stressful. And for those, maybe go into the description. Some of us may be watching tonight going, what is a Jack qualifier? How did you get there? What the hell are these guys talking about? So walk us through that. And then when did it click? And how stressful was that for you? Or was that just an ultimate goal? If it happened, it happened.
Case, it was, to me, the Jack is something that my wife and I spoke about, and for me, it was always, it was a dream, and that's all it's ever been. There's no way I can do this. Yeah, I'm this close, but there's no way. So I started really focusing a little bit more on IBCA and their points. Then it got to where it was just a whirlwind. You get to chasing, and you don't know what you're chasing anymore. Am I chasing IBCA? Am I chasing the Jack? Finally, brother man Robert Smith, he just kind of pulled me to the side, and he said, "Man, you gotta quit. You gotta stop chasing these things and just pick the cook you want to go to and have fun with it. It's barbecue. Have fun with it." And after that, things just kind of came together for me, and to say, when did I think that it was real and the Jack was actually real? About 3 days after Miss Pam texted me and said that it was confirmed.
Nice. So so Case, you made a good, there's some people that maybe not realize what it takes to get to the Jack. And a Jack qualifier is any sanctioned event, and somebody stop me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it's any sanctioned event of 50 teams or more. It can be a state qualifier of a state championship, of 25 teams or more, or if it's a first year state championship, 15 teams or more. So there may be other ways to get a qualifier to the Jack, but I know that those three are for sure. 50 teams in a sanctioned event where at least 50 teams turn in all the meets, and then in a state championship, 25 teams, and a first year state championship, 15 teams. Am I right, Randall?
That's the only way I know of.
Okay.
And you got to win 7 of them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's, the guys that there's guys in their career that are happy to get to 7. You managed to pull it off in a year's time, which is pretty wild. But when you got to 6, was it stressful to go, man, I'm running out of weekends, I got so much time, I got to get to 7? Or did you just take it with the flow and say, if it happens, it happens? I would be stressed out. If I got to, first off, I'm not worried about getting to 6. You can't actually mathematically get to 6 if you only do 2 competitions a year. So it's not a big deal for me.
Yeah. Case, that's real hard to answer, man, because like I said, it really was just a dream. It was never anything that I really believed that I could ever do. It's just I'm not that good.
Yeah, you are. You're good.
It was something I didn't believe.
I got a points total that says otherwise.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys, but so I mean, no, it wasn't really a stress. It was just not really a pressure. It's hard to explain, guys, because it comes from right here, and that's where it would hurt the most. It wasn't really a pressure or a stress. It was just really wanting to achieve that goal.
We have a question in the comments. What is a Jack? You want to take that, Randall?
A Jack. What is a Jack? Well, it's kind of
Coke.
It's a good drink. A Jack is any competition that you win, any barbecue competition you win, like we spoke about earlier, that is either a sanctioned event with 50 or more qualifying teams or a state championship with 25 or more. You win one of those, and it is called a Jack qualifier.
And the Jack is the Jack Daniels World Championships invitational contest. It's held in Lynchburg, Tennessee, where they make Jack Daniels, and it's one of the most coveted events that you can do as a competition barbecue cook. And again, there's only a select few to get invited. It's a lot of it's a luck of the draw, but in their case, they've earned their way with these 7 or more victories. So,
and I think the numbers are about right. There's maybe about 100 teams that get to go to the Jack Daniels.
Yeah, we'll ask Chris and maybe Anna and Phil maybe
and
later.
When you compare that to these other world-class events, Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, I think, is in the 240 areas. I mean, the American Royal, obviously you have the invite, but you can be 450 to 500 teams. And so when we talk about chasing this or getting an automatic invitation to the Jack Daniels, it's a very prestigious group of cooks that it's an invitation. It's not something that you can just pick up the phone or give them a credit card over the internet and say, well, I think I just want to cook it. So it's a big deal.
Yep. Jennifer Hacker's comment, Super Bowl of cook-offs. I think they all claim that one, but it is special for sure. Randall, before I told her we'd keep it short and sweet, and I'm going to bring you back on with East Texas Smokers, because I know you guys saw each other quite a bit here at the end of it, but I want you to stick around for about 10-15 minutes, and then I'll bring you back on. But you kind of mentioned one of the persons. Is there anybody you want to thank, or any sponsors or something that you want to bring up before we let you get out of here?
I tell you what, if you give me just a quick minute.
Absolutely, brother. Take your time. Go ahead.
I want to thank my beautiful bride. Without her love and support, I couldn't make a comp. There's no way. And I don't like to use the word sponsors, because I don't have sponsors, Rob. What I have is I just have a great support group in my family and friends that just in so many different ways, help me out throughout week in and week out, dude. It's just amazing.
That's great, brother. Well, congratulations again. Just stick around. We'll bring you back on here in just a moment. But a hell of a season so far, and couldn't happen to a nicer person. A lot of people that have made the comments in there, and we'll highlight those here in just a minute. They talk about, and I know this for a fact, what a humble person you are. And I knew Case was trying to drag something out of you, but I knew you weren't going to take the bait there. And yeah, you, yes, yes, you, brother. So congratulations. We will bring you back out here in just a minute. But thank you very much, Randall, and stick around. All right. That was Randall Kendrick from Hideaway Ranch Cookers. And that was another question I had on my note. I got he actually has a ranch. You know, he posts pictures and he's doing ranch shit on that Hideaway Ranch. So it's not just a team name, it is a destination. It is a place.
Yeah, that's off to anybody who's doing the ranch stuff in this heat and no rain. So
absolutely. Well, the next we're going to sponsor. Thank you to Cosmos Q for that segment. We're going to go talk about the. Oh, wait a second. Battery running low. Better plug this bad boy in real quick. All right. All right. We should be.
Don't leave me to run the show by myself.
Let me make sure that this thing is. All right. We're charging. We're good. We are good. Next, we're gonna do Texas Original Charcoal Company. That is my good buddy and everybody's good buddy in the competition scene, Joey Machado, and his new line of charcoal that will be coming out very soon. I just got off the phone with him earlier today. He's got a line out right now that we use that we have been using and doing very well with, but he's got a premium line coming out here in the next, I'd say 2 weeks or so. So shout out to Texas Original Charcoal Products and Joey Machado, and we will this segment here is sponsored by Texas Original Charcoal. All right, next up we've got East Texas Smokers, Anna and Scotty Bryce. Now you want to talk?
How's it going?
Good, buddy. Good. You want to talk about people getting in just under the wire right there, Case. You know, you're talking about stressing and how's it comes. I want to hear.
That's my style. I actually prefer to do that. I early
to hear this story here, but welcome in another first timer to the So Smoking Gooder show, which is my bad because I thought they had already been on the show because we did something. This looks familiar to me, but maybe I was just imagining it. But how are you guys doing? Welcome to the show. This is Anna and Scotty, East Texas Smokers. Again, y'all are a first timer. Please introduce yourself, please.
I'm Scotty Bryce. This is my wife, Anna Bryce. We're with East Texas Smokers.
Crews just ran out. Most of everybody that knows that don't. We cook as a family, and our little boy cooks with us also. He goes everywhere.
What part of East Texas? I have to clarify.
Nacogdoches area.
Oh, not the home of Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah.
Oh, at least you're not an SFA fan, are you?
Homer Bryce Stadium. My name is Scotty Bryce.
Did you understand that, Case?
Oh, I do. Yeah, no. I also understand Sam Houston State has whipped their ass for 10 straight years. I can tell you that much. But anyway, continue.
This is not about – you always bring it back to football.
Well, I mean, East Texas is a big part of the state, and I was like, there's no way nice people could possibly join this show from Nacogdoches. So I figured I'd ask the question, and then boom, there we are.
All right. Well, let's talk barbecue. That's what this show is about. Anna and Scotty, we were just talking to Randall. Y'all heard him on there, and we'll bring y'all both together here in just a moment. But you guys were intermixing here just this past season. You know, he's took a couple from you. You may have taken a couple from him. But talk about y'all's season thus far. Obviously, it's been a good one. But Case kind of brought it up earlier about the stress and whatnot. You guys just got in this past weekend. Y'all got your number 7. I mean by that. Y'all just got your number 7, and congratulations. We were all pulling for you guys for that. There's only one more opportunity. I don't know if anyone's sitting on 6 right now, but there's only one more weekend. What's that?
Yeah. I'm not sure if anybody else is or not.
Yeah, I don't know, but there's only one more weekend to make that happen. But talk about the season thus far. Has this always been on the horizon or on the radar for you guys? And, you know, I know how stressful it was for you guys at the end, but talk about how it was going early on and then this past, 2 months or so to get 6 and 7.
Right. And so we didn't know, you know, we hit 3 in a row, and then right before Christmas, and then, you know, we won it all in 3 different sanctioned bodies. But we really wasn't going after it. Didn't think it was even a, you know, way we could get in and do that. Well, then here the last few months, we just started trying real hard. It stars lined up and it worked out. But it's been a good ride. We've enjoyed it.
It's been a great ride. Y'all's brisket was just dominating early on. Is it still? How's that doing so far with you guys?
Yeah, it's doing good. It's doing good.
Okay.
Well, see, you know, that was always our thing, though. Our brisket didn't do that good, you know, and then we finally got it dialed in on the drones and all, and we started winning a little better. So.
Now, the team member that just joined the show, hey, buddy, do you want to tell us what kind of flavors are running on that brisket? The parents aren't listening.
So
So he's a damn good cook in his own right. That's for sure.
Yes, he is. Yes.
All right, so you kind of mentioned that you were hitting all sanctioning bodies. Where did you get your qualifiers in? Did you hit all of them to get a qualifier?
Yeah, so the first 3 that we hit, we did different areas. We did Magnolia, which down around Houston area, which is CBA. Then we went over to Marksville, Louisiana, and it was a IBCA event. And then we went up to Royce City, which is North Dallas area, and it was the first outlaw that we that they held. And then we did Tomball and CBA, Minden, BCA, Breeden, which was a Lone Star. That was a long trip, 7 hours. And then we did Paris, our last one, which was an outlaw. So we like cooking all different sanctioning bodies.
So you got, I think I counted 5, which is pretty impressive. I think I counted five different sanctioning bodies.
So many acronyms.
Yeah. No, I know it's 7. Don't get me wrong, but I think I counted 5 different. So you did BCA, IBCA, CBA, Outlaw, and Lone Star. That's pretty impressive.
Sir.
Did y'all change anything, or does he feel like it's okay? Everything travels well the same way, right? We're all in Texas for the most part, except for that one Louisiana trip.
Good meat travels. We've got that a lot in our cooking career, that when we cook, especially when we cook in Louisiana and especially South Louisiana, we get a lot of people that ask us, do y'all change up your recipes? They like heat down there? No, we do not change up our recipes anywhere we go. Good food travels, you know. If you got good meat, it's going to win anywhere.
Yeah, and if it doesn't win, it's because the judges suck, right?
That's right.
Oh, we've had some crayon eaters, as Chris calls them.
Some what? I didn't catch that.
Crayon eaters.
Crayon eaters. Okay. Speaking of back to school cruise, no, I'm just kidding. No, so that's very impressive. Like I mentioned, 5 different sanctioning bodies, 7 qualifying wins. So what does this mean to you guys that you're finally, I know you've been chasing it a while. Talk about that last, you had 2 weeks left and you got it in on that second to last week. Talk about what y'all were thinking. I don't think Scotty is pretty much even kill every time I see Scotty, but did he even get was he feeling a little of the pressure? Scotty, were you feeling any pressure at all?
No, I knew I could do it, but, I don't really know if I'm going to go to that jack. I just want to see if I can get in it.
you don't even know if you're going to go. You just want to see if you can qualify.
He heard there's a rumor we were going to have him on the show. And so the jack's not a big deal. It's the fact that he finally did something good enough for Rob to call to go on the show.
Not true. I thought y'all had already been on the show. But Anna, talk about those last month. So you were sitting on 6. How long have you been sitting on 6?
Okay, so we got our first 3 in November through December, and then we took a break. And everybody was like, "Man, y'all are so hot. Don't take a break." Well, we had to. We have children, it's holidays. And then when we come back, we was thinking, oh, we'll just boom, 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 get right back in the groove. It took us a little bit to get right back in the groove. No. And then our next one we didn't hit until May is when we hit our next at qualifier. But, I mean, we cooked other deals. But then right then when we hit our fourth one, we was like, all right, we're at 4. Let's chase it. Let's hit up every qualifier. So I called every cook-off, looked up every cook-off just to make sure. And the thing about it is like if it's their first year, like y'all said earlier, it has to be 15. I wanted to make sure. And like whenever Randy won his 7, we got lucky on that one because when we pulled up, we thought we wasn't going to have enough teams, and it was a nail biter. And that was the same weekend that we had to miss your deal. Sorry, by the way. Wish we could have been there. Congratulations.
Okay,
so much.
it's all right.
But it was a nail biter, because we was like, crap, we drove all this way, And then so we've cooked 9 weekends in a row, but we have done 12 cook-offs. That's because we had 3 double headers in there.
Ooh,
wow.
So that's my entire career.
I think that's more than your entire cooking career, Case. Did you say 12 cook-offs in 9 weeks? That's crazy.
I'm doing the brisket bill in my head and thinking I got to go back to work and sell a lot more stuff to just pay the brisket bill.
Yeah. So do you know how many cook-offs you've done so far this year?
I'm not sure. Probably 30, I would assume.
I haven't looked back at my book. I keep a score book. I write everything down, and I haven't went back and counted them yet.
Here's a question for you. What brand of brisket, maybe even quality brisket? If you want to divulge that. I
usually run a Snake River Farm Black is what we normally run.
All right.
Unless I can find this one out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My biggest question is you had your first 3 right out the bat, and then I get the holidays, I got kid, but you took a break in Christmas time or went the winter time, and then in May you decided to get on a roll. You know how hot it is in June? You took the winter off.
And that's what I like to do. I don't like to do like everybody else. I like to eat, If it's about 120 degrees outside, my pits do better.
They're very efficient.
Your armpits do better. That's hot, buddy. But yeah, no, that's even more impressive to do that because we've had some insane weather with heat wise the last couple months. It feels like for the last 6 weeks at least, it's been 98 plus 105, 106, which is just insane. But to do that while with the pressure and everything, that's hats off to you guys. That's a big accomplishment. What does this mean to you guys getting this number 7 and qualifying for the Jack Daniels World Championship cook-off?
No, it's a big deal to us.
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's very huge.
We feel honored.
Yeah.
Sure. Blessed.
Yeah.
Very
So I don't know how many Texas teams. So I guess you fill in obviously right now. You Phil and Randall are the ones that are auto qualified.
Yes.
I don't say auto. Y'all, it's earned qualified. It's earned qualified. So you guys, but last year I don't know how many actually teams from Texas were there. I think maybe just a handful. Maybe Michelle would know. Michelle Castillo's in the comments. Michelle, how many teams were there from Texas last year? So that's a big accomplishment to earn your way on and not just get the bungs that people get lucky and get drawed. So congratulations on you guys. Like I asked Randall, I'm going to bring him on here in just a minute, but is there anybody y'all want to give shout outs to and supporters of East Texas Smokers before I bring Randall back?
Yeah.
We want to, for one, thank God for keeping us safe on all of our travels and blessing us with a good cooking skills and good skills and stuff. But like Randall said earlier, it's not just sponsors, it's friends that have backed us, like First Class, Robert and Carissa, Elk Creek, Cam Day, the barbecue store, Dustin and Alana, man, they're just amazing. Double Barrel, oh, he's just amazing. And then there's just, several people just support us that it's hard to go through the list.
Oh, I know, especially when you're thinking on the spot. But no, hell of a season thus far. We still have the Jack, the Royal. We still got some.
Well, he's going to buy all my briskets next year. He's already come out and said, Robert Ocho.
What did you say? What did you say?
Robert Ocho Rob Rocho, he's going to be buying all my briskets next year. He's going to pick me up, sponsor me.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely will not do that, but we can talk
Yeah,
about
you
it.
did 12 cook-offs in 9 weeks. No, I'm good.
No, all right. Well, let's bring Randall back on because you guys traveled with each other. Y'all did not so much with each other, but you guys were. I'm gonna bring me here. There we go. Boom. Let me do that so that bam.
Wait,
there we go.
You guys traveled with each other? You're trying to get to the Jack. I would avoid each other.
They, you know, it gets slim pickings, right, guys? It gets slim pickings at the end of which contest you can go to.
And that's pretty much how it happened. You know, it's just there's only so many of them. You hate to do it. You know, you support your other, competition teams and you want to see them succeed as well. But when it comes down to it, you just got to go do it.
Yeah, and y'all were. I mentioned that earlier. Y'all, you may take a couple from them. They may be taking a couple from you, but that's the nature of competition, right? You go out there and put your best foot forward and see what happens. But both of you guys, what's that, Anna?
Yeah, in Santa Ana, we both was there in Santa Ana, but that was 7-8 hours for both of us, but it was the only state championship. So it was like, hey, we'll battle it out. Wish each other the best of luck.
Did either of y'all travel to New Mexico when they had that IBCA event over there?
No.
I didn't know it was out there.
Yeah, that was out there. IBCA event. I think that was the one state championship for that state, and so whoever won that, which I'll bring her up in just a minute. Not on the show, but I'll Summer Moreno, Manny Moreno's wife. She won that event, and she has an auto draw to the Jack for the state of New Mexico, which is pretty cool. But man, hell of a season, guys. That's tremendous what you guys were able to do, especially under the pressure that you kind of put on yourself to go out there and do this. But to be successful and make that happen is kudos to you guys, man. That's amazing.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you very much. Anything that I forgot that you guys want to bring up before I let you go? All right. Well, thanks again for coming on. We had 2 first-timers on the showcase. This is awesome. Thank you guys for coming on the show tonight to kick off the first part of this big show that we're having. Randall Kendrick with Hideaway Ranch Cookers. Hey, talk about your ranch real quick. What is that, bub? You're doing some ranch shit, like I said earlier.
Man, no, man. We're small and just getting started. We're working on some heifers right now, but every man had to start somewhere.
Yep. Don't make a joke, Case.
Randall, I literally mow my yard with a battery operated lawnmower. I'm not doing ranching shit.
Battery operated. Do you have to charge that thing, Case?
Twice. I'm in the yard. Decent.
All right.
All
right, guys. Thank you guys for coming on the show. We'll talk about the Jack after it's done. How about that? Is that good with you guys?
Yes, sir.
All right. Congratulations again, both of you guys. Hell of a season. Good job. Yep.
Thanks, y'all.
All right. Yep. There they were. That's Randall Kendrick of Hideaway Ranch Cookers and Anna and Scotty Bryce of East Texas Smokers. Man, that made me exhausted to think about how many trips around the state and nearby that they've done, man, to make this happen. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, in the conversation, to your point about stressing out on getting to, when I cook, next weekend I'll be at the Schulenburg Festival cooking, and it's something close to home. I cook Columbus. I just go because it's locations, right? Or Danny Dietz, they're chasing events that meet a certain criteria, and one of those criteria is many times the fact that these are big events, and so you're driving a long way, other people are coming to these big events and state championships, and so it's a hell of an accomplishment to win just one of them, let alone 7 in a calendar year. So it's pretty wild.
It is wild, and we got 2 more that have done that trek that'll be on here in just a second. But before we get to those, Case, let's whoa, that is transparent.
It's pretty impressive.
That is not what I meant to do. However, since it's on, look at that. Look
you ever see the movie Major League where they walk out and all the new advertisements are out in the outfield?
Look at this. I did not mean for that to happen, but hey, there you go. But
Mash the like button or share this if you think the show looks like the Yellow Pages.
there we go. Case, let's talk about some of these guys that support the show. Rec Tech.
Which one?
We're gonna go through them all real quick.
This one?
Rec,
How about this one?
how about you? I got some for you real quick, but why don't you talk about Rec Tech? You love supporting the Rec Tech lifestyle. Talk about it real quick.
I do, man. When it comes, I am all about that pellet lifestyle. Everybody that knows me. And I can tell you the guys at Rec Tech have a grill for you. Competition cooks, size, small, middle, built-in grills. Yeah, when it comes to pellet smokers, man, if you're not using a Rec Tech, what the hell is going on with you? No knock to all you Traeger owners. I mean, you overpaid, no big deal. But hey, take a chance. Look at Rec Tech, read the reviews, see what the customer's like. Don't just believe Rob and I. I mean, it's not like he just won the Watermelon Festival. But anyway, just if you're out there and you're shopping for a grill or a smoker, if you're not looking at Rec Tech, you're probably either A, buying a piece of crap, or you're spending too much money.
Absolutely. We can get you a $5 discount code. Hit me up, Rob at Bullhorn.
5%.
5%.
Yeah.
$5.
Yeah.
5%. And then Cosmos Q products. We just talked about them and they're fine products. The Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads, December 9th and 10th in Uvalde, Texas. Guys, I want everybody that can and are willing to go out there and willing and able, go out to Uvalde, Texas. Let's support this fine event. Wade Carpenter and Luis Fernandez and everybody involved. City of Uvalde needs our support. Let's get out there. It's a CBA event. It's December 9th and 10th, 2022 out in Uvalde, Texas. Texas Oil Dust putting out fine rubs. They have an amazing brisket sauce. It's called Brandon Oil, which has just been killing it. I was able to use that last year at the Royal, and it did very well. Eureka Heights Brew Company. Guess what I'm drinking tonight, Case? Look, you can see it. It's back there. Let's put it over here. Oh, I can't even do it. Yeah. That is Eureka Heights Brew Company. They've been a big-time supporter of Bullhorn Barbecue for a number of years now, going on 5 as well. That's amazing. Talk about Texas Pepper Jelly, Case.
Yeah, absolutely. So with Texas Pepper Jelly, we just launched, or Craig did, hot sauce. So if you love a rib candy ghost pepper peach hot sauce, just launched. You need to try it. It's fantastic. You can put it on just about anything. It's not too hot for all you people. Guys, I don't do a lot of heat. Rob knows that. But yeah, check it out. Brand new rib candy based hot sauce with ghost pepper heat to it. Extra hot, man. It is remarkable. New product just hit. New rubs coming. But yeah, man, that new hot sauce is hit the market, man. Excited.
And you can talk about you can attest to the fact of the great customer service at the barbecue store in Hempstead.
Yeah, the great thing about this show is a reminder of a cook-off next weekend. So when I get to work tomorrow, I got to replenish all those Cosmos supplies that I use. And, man, I'll put that order in. It'll be in my house in Dickinson, no doubt, by Friday, well ahead of the event. And so if you need quick shipping and pretty much anything barbecue, the barbecue store in Hempstead. Fastest shipping in town, all the products you need to get those walks.
Yep, and we mentioned her name just a few minutes ago, Summer Moreno. She is a sponsor of the So Smoking Gooder Show, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Not only did she win in New Mexico, and she has a automatic, she won that, so she earned her way also to the Jack Daniel's World Championship Cook-Off. She also can insure all of your barbecue smokers and all of your barbecue rigs, your toy haulers, whatever it is, and your life. She can do life insurance as well. So make sure you contact Summer Moreno if that's something that you need. She can make that happen for you. Texas Original Charcoal Products. We just talked about Joey Machado and all that he hustles out there. And his premium line of product will be out within a couple weeks. I just got off the phone with him earlier today. The Navy SEAL Danny Dietz Memorial Classic that is coming up in September. That is an IBCA event. We will be attending that. Hopefully Case will be attending that with me as part of Team Bullhorn, because we have a lot to live up to at that particular contest. 0 walks for Team Bullhorn there. This is my Achilles heel. We'll talk about that as it comes on. Maybe I'll get a walk finally this year, but I'm not holding my breath. Clark Compression and Components. We just added this one today. That is Belle Clark and Tom Clark. Thank you very much. They said, I want to support the show. I'm like, I don't know how we can help Clark Compression and Components. She's like, I don't care. I want to support the show. And I'm like,
going to have to Google what the hell that does. So
they
next
do
week
oil fittings. I know that they're part of the oil industry, oil field, and they do compression components, fittings, and whatnot for the oil field equipment. So thank you very much for being a part of this show. LC Barbecue. We're going to talk to Mr. Phil Breeden here in just a moment. But you guys know his injections. He's got some great brines. He's got some great rubs that are helping everybody across the country. LC Barbecue products. You can find that all over the country, especially at the barbecue store in Hempstead. You can get that. And of course, our day one, long time bull printing, wraps, and graphics. Case, talk about bull printing, please, real quick.
Yeah, when it comes to large-scale printing of any type, whether it's wrapping your trailers, putting a banner up at a tailgate, doing a nice a fathead cutout of Rob, hell, making a birthday banner that Rob's going to get embarrassed about because I wasn't included. Bull printing, wraps, and graphics are the people that do any kind of large-scale printing. They do it right, Cheeto and the gang, right materials, and by far, great artwork. And, if you're considering large-scale printing of any kind, if you're not calling bull printing, you're wasting your money.
All right. Phil is in. Chris was here first. We're going to talk to Chris for a quick minute, and then we'll get Phil, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll get them both on because these guys are hilarious. Let's bring on Chris Schafer from Heavy Smoke. This is not his first time on the show. He was on before. This is a gentleman not from Texas. He's from St. Louis, Missouri. Am I right? You're from St. Louis, right?
Yeah, what's up, boys? I will say this, though. I was born in Arlington, Texas.
There you
That's
go.
still not Texas, but anyway.
Is that why you are a Cowboy fan?
It is. Yep.
How long has it been since you were on the show? Did we have 2 sponsors, 14 sponsors? How long has it been since you've been on the show? How many sponsors back then? Do we have like 4? We have 47 now.
I think Rob was your only sponsor.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's been that long.
It was sponsored by Rob's Job.
Chris, not only is an accomplished barbecue cook, you are a KCBS champion, right? I have that just jarred my memory about a question for you. But for those that don't know, again, this is a mainly Texas center. We are branching out. We got people, and you're helping to do that, as a lot of you guys are. But introduce yourself, Team Heavy Smoke. I had a great time visiting with you and your dad, which is a big part of your team. So introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, Chris Schafer, Heavy Smoke Barbecue on St. Louis, Missouri. Actually, O'Fallon, just outside of St. Louis. Been competing about 10 years. Cooked a lot of St. Louis Barbecue Society in the beginning, and I went kind of switched over to KCBS in 2019, and been running that for the last few years pretty hard. Yeah,
so you were a what is it? St. Louis Barbecue Society?
Yeah, SLBS.
SLBS. You were dominating over there. You said, all right, I can't. I'm enough of this. Let's go to KCBS. Talk about have you done any Texas style like CBA or IBCA events?
I did a CBA World Foods in Dallas last year, where I learned that I have no idea how to cook a half chicken. But I cooked Humboldt, Texas, which was a KCBS.
Right.
But it's only 2 times I've cooked in Texas.
So after watching the show on Food Network that we weren't going to talk about tonight, do you come down from Missouri and just randomly walk around going, I'm going to get a brisket walk like Brad Lightner did on Food Network this weekend?
I never do that. Brad's he's larger than life in real life. There's nobody that talks better trash than Brad. So
my household was actively rooting against him, even though I could have just looked up the results. We're watching the show actively rooting against him. I found myself rooting for Fred. That's how crazy it was.
I feel that bad. Go ahead.
That show needs guys like Brad, though, man. I mean, I think the show's doing some good things for barbecue, and there's a lot of trash talk that we do, and a lot of giving each other trouble. And I think the first 2 episodes didn't capture that real well. It felt real forced, and that episode just felt supernatural, man. All those guys talking trash, and it felt like a real competition.
I'd put my application in being the token shitty cook that doesn't do very well and burns chicken. I could be that guy. And so Food Network, if you're out there watching the show tonight, I can be the cook that goes on there and screws everything up.
Well, when I talked to Food Network, I also recommended that you be the token shitty cook.
Thank you. Someone finally sees the talent.
We know your role, Case. Know your role. All right, Chris. So you also have done the gauntlet of number 7 for, or do you have more than 7? You may. I don't know. Do you have more than 7?
Yeah, I got I think 9.
9. Look at this guy. He's like, 7, whatever.
Yeah, 7 a couple months ago.
Whatever. But yeah, talk about your journey and this year. I mean, obviously you're an accomplished cook. You are KCBS Team of the Year, correct? I am.
I'm sitting in first, but I got about 6 teams right on my tail, so it's really hard to count my chickens at this point.
Yeah, that's a tough comp to do.
So walk us through real quick. We talk about state championships, the size cook-off. Is it different for Jack qualifiers for KCBS cooks?
It's the same as you guys. It's got to be 25, and it's 15 for a first year, 25 for anything other than that. All 25 got to turn in every category. One thing I think you guys hadn't mentioned before that people might not know is that you mentioned that we auto qualify. Well, the rest of them are made out by them taking one team per state. So just so anybody that doesn't know that, every championship you win for Texas, a bung goes in a draw, and then they only draw one out of that. So you guys didn't mention that earlier. I just think that's something that people need to know, that there's going to be 80 teams there, but 70 of them are representing their state, the only team representing that state.
I have 2 bungs, so I'm not sitting pretty for a chance there. So only one team was going to be drawn.
They do a couple of cool things too, to where let's just say I won in Texas and I got the draw for that. They drew my Texas bung. Then they would go back in and draw another one of only Texas teams to represent the home state, and then they do like a wild card, to where once every single state's drawn, they put all the bungs back in and just draw one random from the country to represent the wild card. So that's kind of how they round out the field.
Have you done the cook the Jack before?
Yeah, I got 7 in 2019. You guys talk about those other guys just qualifying this weekend. In 2019, I had 6, and I was going into the last weekend of the Jack qualifying, and so I had a KCBS on Friday, Saturday, and I decided that I was going to squeeze in a St. Louis Barbecue Society on the Saturday, Sunday. And so I won that KCBS to get my 7th, and I was rolling into that St. Louis one, listening to the awards, and I sat there with the organizer and got my GC, and he congratulated me, and I got I was sitting there, tears in my eyes, my first time going to the Jack, and then I won that St. Louis one too, to put the cherry on the top. So I won my 7th and my 8th the last weekend in 19.
So speaking of the Jack, we understand they make Jack Daniels, Lynchburg. I've been there. It's a remarkable town. Beautiful, get real small, square. Everybody seems to work for Jack Daniels in the whole town. But been to the American Royal, been obviously to Houston. What about the Jack and your experience back in 2019? You walk us through your experience for those that have never been, and now that maybe this is their first time to go.
I'm probably not a great guy to answer this question, because some know, some don't. But in 2019, I got real sick at the end of the year. And when I went to the Jack, I was so sick I could barely walk and barely move around. And I didn't leave my site. I didn't leave my site at all. I cooked, and I went to awards, and I went home, and I had a tough cook. But a few weeks after that, I was in the hospital with congestive heart failure. So, so I didn't move around much. So, I'm excited to go back when I'm in good health and really experience it and do the walk and go to Mary Bobo's. That there's a little restaurant there that everybody goes to, and really just kind of experience the Jack when I'm up to it, feeling up to it.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling much better now. That's pretty scary, man, what you were going through then.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. So talk about the KCBS. There's the team counts. Pretty, what's an average team count nowadays in KCBS? Because we're seeing down here, you got the ones that still are pulling pretty well, but there's a lot of a lot of contests right now down here that a 30 seems to be like a magic number at the moment. A 30 contest team is a 30 team contest is doing really well, and it just seems like I know there's a lot of factors. Obviously, we've talked about it on the show before. Fuel prices, meat prices, all of the inflation and whatnot. But are you seeing that up there as well?
Yeah, we're seeing that a lot. There's a lot of comps where you're just fighting to get to 25, and I've been to a handful of comps this year where you had 24. And at the Cooks meeting, you're trying to find a backyard guy that'll step up, or trying to find an organizer's cousin that'll grab a Weber and come cook, and it's tougher. I think what happened with COVID hit, like when I first started, I know you guys have been doing this a little while too. When I first started, there was like almost every event, there were like 10 great teams, and there were 10 good teams. There were 10 guys kind of up and coming, and then there were 10 local teams, and there were those local teams only cooked that event or 2 a year, that kind of thing.
Right.
Well, I think during COVID, all those local teams and some of those other teams decided they like camping more than they like barbecue. It's a lot cheaper. It's a lot cheaper, and they're still doing the same thing. So now when we go to an event that used to have 40, it's got 25, because there's a lot of people that are like, man, I don't have $1,500 to put into this weekend to just get beat up by, Phil and Brad and, and Fred, you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of those people decided that they could spend that money elsewhere and still have a good time.
That's a good point. Yeah, we're seeing the same thing down here. 25, 24 teams, and we're trying to get those extra 2 teams or 1 team or whatever it may be. But that does make the challenge of getting 7 a little more difficult. The team counts aren't there, so we talk about it right now, and there's 4 of you guys that are on this show, and I feel like we missed Brad, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. But
nobody misses Brad.
I mean, I feel like I missed him on the show to get him on. But the point being is, this is that extra, situation that we just talked about makes it more difficult. And just for you guys to go out there and when that opportunity presents itself of 25 teams or more, or 50 teams or more for a not a state championship, to go out there and win it and do it 7+ times is amazing.
Well,
go ahead.
I won when I won the KCBS Invitational in November. That was my 6th, and at that point it was like, man, I got to get to 7. If I don't get to 7 by July, I'm going to quit. But a few weeks after that, I ran down to Alabama, about a 9-10 hour drive. They told me they had 27 teams. And when I got there in the Cooks meeting, they had 19. They had COVID. COVID hit, and some teams backed out and things like that. Well, I won that one, and so that would have been my 7th win, like the first week in December, and it didn't count. And then I went on a little bit of a dry spell and didn't get my 7th until I think maybe March or April. But that one I made a 9-10 hour drive in December because I thought they had 27 teams.
Damn it. All right. Go ahead, Case.
The show is based in Texas. A lot of guys that we talk to are from Texas. You've been on the show before. I've joked about things, but give us some insight. We talked about inflation. We talked about cost of fuel and brisket. How much has kale gone up for you KCBS cooks to build those boxes? It's something we're not really familiar with. So, are we seeing a huge spike in the kale prices?
I'm still a parsley guy, but when you're spending $300 on a brisket, what's $15 on greens?
That's true. This is true.
Just getting my comment out of the way. That's all.
Chris, I know you got to get up early, so I want to get Phil on, and then I'm going to bring you both up at the end of this.
I'm having some charging issues like you too, so I'm gonna plug in. So I'll be
plug in, and then I'm gonna talk to Phil for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna bring you back on, and we'll close out with you 2 hitters, man. Because thanks for coming on the show for sure. Does anybody you want to give a shout out to before we get you on? Before we get you by yourself?
Kind of like the rest of the guys. I couldn't do it without my family. My wife and my daughter allow me to be gone a lot. Sometimes I think they're happy that I'm gone, and obviously I cook with my dad, man. I get to go out every single weekend and cook with my dad, and I really couldn't do it without him. And then on the other side, Big Papa Smokers and Snake River Briskets and Prairie Fresh Pork and Cordy Meat out of Highland, Illinois. They take care of me on the meat side over here. So just a lot of good people, backing me along the way.
Hey, real quick, I didn't bring it up, but I do want to give you a shout out. Your rubs are amazing. Talk about your rubs and how they can find them. I know they're at the barbecue store as well, because I got one there.
Yeah. So
the white and the black.
Yeah, I got the white label and the black label. White's kind of more of an all-purpose, a little sweeter, a little bit of a kick of heat at the back, and the black label was built for brisket. But I'm finding it's pretty good on everything. In the restaurant, we put on our chips, our mac and cheese, our wings. We put it on all kinds of stuff because it's a little saltier, so it'll always punch up that flavor. So, I don't know how many people down in Texas are part of the barbecue league, but I got a brisket video on there showing you how to use that black label, and there's a lot of guys winning with it.
I am part of the barbecue league. We did check that out. Well, Chris, I'm going to bring you down. Charge your phone, and we'll bring you back up here in just a minute. Thanks for coming on the show for a second time. And we'll see you here in just a minute.
Cool.
All right. There was Chris Schafer. That was pretty cool. That's a different perspective that we're used to, being he's mainly a KCBS competition cook. But did you pick up anything there, Case?
Yeah, no, he's a great cook, and then having somebody, I can't imagine living where he lives and driving down. Just listening to talk about driving down to all the way down to Alabama, given the fuel prices and things like that. And I get it happens, right? Especially now, COVID. I don't want anybody to risk anything and that kind of stuff. But man, that's a to pull in. It's just but congrats, man. I'm glad he was able to pull off this year. Looking forward for him. It sounds like for him going to the Jack, while it's the second time, it's really the first for him. We talked through that been to the Jack. It's a the guys from can't think of the one Houston recently, and they went down and stuff. Man, the city comes out and they celebrate the cooks. It's just a cool deal, and so I'm excited for him to be able to truly experience that after what happened in 2019.
Yep. All right. Well, we got one more heavy hitter that has been tearing it up this year. Not only this year, he's been doing it for like 5-6 years now. Appropriately, this segment will be sponsored by LC Barbecue Products, and we're going to get the man, the myth, the legend from LC Barbecue on right now. That is Mr. Phil Play the Clip Breeden. And where is my banner? Because I just made it. Did it not save? All right. Well, I got to make another.
Where the hell are you going live from, Phil? Is there some kind of I don't know. We're live. We're at a ZZ Top concert. I don't know what's going on here.
We're up at the deer camp, so we're kind of limited on options as far as spots that get signal. So, how's the audio? How's the audio? Okay.
About this, but Phil, I saw you on my TV this week. I mean, I didn't hear from you. I saw you on my TV. I promised Rob we weren't going to bring it up. But I just, I'm excited I saw you. But that's it. And did you ever just think maybe if Bill would shut up, you'd have more time, they'd come talk? What's going on, man?
Man, they had the muzzle on me pretty good. I know that.
We're not here to talk about that. Phil Breeden, you listened to Randall, you listened to Anna and Scotty. Now you just heard from Chris. You too killed it. You've been killing, like I said, you've been killing it for a while now, but to go out there and dominate again this season with everybody that has taken a Phil Breeden LC barbecue class, which we'll bring up again here in just a moment, that brings another challenge onto itself. You've taught a lot of these Texas cooks down here, but to go out there and continue to do it and do it again, pretty amazing. Hats off to you. That's a hell of a season, my man. And talk about I've been telling them to introduce yourself, but you don't need to with these guys that are watching. I know they all know who you are, but here in Texas. But we do have some people out of state watching tonight. But go ahead, say who you are, product.
Yeah, I'm Phil Breeden, owner of LC Barbecue out of Bandera, Texas.
And you're watching the So Smoking Gooder.
And you're watching the So Smoking Gooder show.
And you've thrown Case out of your trailer at the American Royal. I'm trying to think what else other accomplishments you got.
Case said I got a record too. I don't even think what did I tell you exactly? Something like I don't know. Remind me of the exact words I used. You probably remember.
I don't know if we can say it on air. No, it's I wasn't paying attention to the time. I admitted my fault.
Case, I love you, but get the F out of here. Right?
yeah. It was something along those lines. Like, listen, I love you, brother, but you got to get your ass out of my trailer.
So I've been called abrupt.
Abrupt. Pretty brunt. So talk about your season, Phil. Killing it, like I said, and how many different sanctioning bodies did you do? I know you were traveling all over as well, getting those 7 knocked out.
I didn't know that about Scotty and Anna, that they had 5 sanctioning bodies, which is, to me, crazy, insane, super cool. I ended up with 3 sanctioning bodies, and I wanted IBCA in spring. There was no other cook-offs that weekend, but it wasn't a state championship. I think we had 35 teams. So I was trying to hit IBCA to get 4, but I didn't get that. But I had a CBA, a few Lone Stars, or a couple CBAs, a few Lone Stars, and a KCBS. So I had 3 sanctioning bodies, but to hear them with 5 is pretty cool. And congrats to those teams. I was super happy to see Scotty and Anna hit it last weekend. I know him coming down this close to the wire, and Randall to the last 3 weekends get GCs and just pump it out like he did is awesome. It's nice to see Texas now having 3 teams that are going to go to the Jack, and once they draw 4 and potentially even more teams, there's people that have out-of-state bungs, and you never know how the draw is going to go and who will end up representing. So it's pretty fun to watch for me.
Yeah, Chris kind of touched on that. How he mentioned that you can get more than one from a state that happens to do that, because hopefully I'll get drawn. I don't know. That'd be awesome, but I'm not holding my breath. But it takes a lot, especially here in Texas. There's a lot of teams that have a bung at least to get drawn, but there are some, like he mentioned, some wild cards that can get in there. Do you know all of them, or how they can go?
You mean all the different teams, or what? What do you mean?
The different ways that how can I get in besides getting lucky and getting 2?
Okay, I get you. Yeah, so obviously 7 qualified wins, which y'all talked about quite a bit on the show tonight. Super difficult to do, but destiny's in your own hands, I guess. You got the Jack winner from last year, which that's Brad, and he probably has 7 too, if not 12. Then you've got Memphis in May, Houston Rodeo, the American Roll Open winner, I believe, if I'm mistaken. And man, that's all that I can think off the top of the head. I'm no Jack expert. I've always kind of looked at it from, the other side of the window, looking at the world like everybody else kind of in Texas. Learned a lot more about it this year, made phone calls. Aaron Leslie's been helpful for, kind of the rundown he had last year. That's helpful for me to get insight and prepare to go cook it in October.
Nakia White's watching. He says, it's like a short Irish ZZ Top in the house, brother. You are your own legend, which is cool. No, that's really awesome, and that's cool. Bring that up, and thank you for that insight. But yeah, a lot of people don't know about it. The Jack is like this unicorn cook-off that not everybody gets invited to. We've all been to the Royal.
Handle the Jack? I don't know the Jack judge. Is it sanctioned by a certain?
It's sanctioned by KCBS.
Gotcha.
They have, I think the only different rule is you got to have, so you got to have 7 pieces of each meat in there, and that's a Jack thing because 7's their number. And in chicken, you got to turn in white and dark meat in the box. So that's the 2 differences other than a normal KCBS cook-off. And they do have a lot of celebrity judges. And, oftentimes as a KCBS, cooker and in that world, that's never really smiled upon. It normally always seems to kind of like get somebody, not having your normal certified judges that you're used to cooking to a certain spec to in a KCBS contest.
Have you, I've seen some pretty wild chicken boxes. Is there a strategy for you to get white and dark meat and to make it all fit in the box?
Yes.
Yes. Good answer.
Yes, I couldn't say it any louder. Yes.
So Phil, as somebody as accomplished as you are, when you're looking ahead, like throughout the barbecue season, is this something that is definitely, while Anna and Scott and Randall were talking about how, they're sitting at 4 wins in May, and so they're like, let's do it. Is this something that you plan out, that you're already mapped out I know you do, you map out your schedule. Is this something that is also back there that he's like, all right, this is what I need to do, this is how many I need, this is the opportunities I have to do it? Is this something where you're particularly going to event to find out to make this qualifier?
Yeah, for sure. So I would say the difference in this year and previous years before. Like last year, I cooked really nothing but KCBS. I did some more contests, but I was primarily KCBS. I wanted to run that and learn a lot, see how I'd shake out in a year's time. So that, man, there was a lot of figuring it out over the course of that year, which I'm really glad I did. I felt like it really prepared me going into bigger contests like the American Roll, and now would be the Jack. I finished 12th overall at the American Roll Invitational last year with a 180 rib. So
That's
and a
awesome.
696 score. So, man, I can contribute all those KCBS cook-offs to prepare me for that. And when I went and cooked the American Roll, man, it was just another weekend. It was just another double. And I don't know how many I did last year, but it was a lot. So it just felt like another contest for me. But yeah, so for me this year, I didn't focus on a sanctioning body or a points chase. I just wanted to go cook, whatever cook off I wanted to, which typically how I'll pick them is, what's the payout? Man, it's got to factor in as expensive as our sport is. So I'm looking at that. And typically, I want to be at the Jack qualifier. Normally the biggest contest I can be at is typically what I'm doing. And this year it found myself at those. Man, I didn't really even think about it. The first one I got was last year in September in Evans, Georgia, Banjo Q, which was a KCBS. And going into January, I only had one qualifier, so it really wasn't really a thought. But then I hit in Santa Ana at their Cook of the Year end of year cook off, and that was 2. And I guess where it really clicked for me was in March when I went to Hempstead for the Texas Chrome Throwdown double.
Yep.
And I GC'd day 1, and that was 3. So then I'm sitting on 3, and it's March. And I got April, May, June, July to go. And for me, that was like, okay, let's really map out the road to the Jack and figure out how we get there. And for me, the sooner the better, because, man, I've been in so many point chase years, or I always feel like I'm chasing something. So I'm kind of used to having pressure and really striving hard for goals. But after that cook off in day 2, I finished 9th overall day 2, but I was only, a few points from reserving and 6 or 7 points from winning. So to me, I looked back at that immediately and said, man, I hope that ain't the one that got me, because I was right there from having 4 that weekend. But so later, I got my next one, not maybe a couple weeks later, Granite Shoals, a Lone Star, and that was 4. So to me, at that point, it's really unfolding to where, hey, this could really happen, And then, the next month, you got April, I picked up 2. Picked up Junction, which was Lone Star, and Gold Lake, which was a Lone Star. So then I'm sitting on 6. And I know when I was on 5, I was thinking, okay, I can't wait to get 6, because once I get 6, then I'm not chasing the next one after the next one. It's just the next one. So, they kind of unfolded pretty fast at the end, and then picked up Gatesville as 7 on June 4th. So there wasn't 2 more months of pressure, and just talking to different people that have hit 6 so many times and 6 and sat there for 2 or 3 months and just couldn't hit 7. I didn't want to be in that position. So definitely getting to 7 as fast as I could was my goal.
Yeah, you had a good run there in April, that back-to-back. That helps, right? When you get a back-to-back, kind of relieves a little pressure on there, and you realize, all right, got 2 months to knock it out, and you knocked it out pretty easily. I think the pressure was off you at that moment, and you just went out there and cooked and did a great job. So, to hear that process of mapping out to guys that want to go out there and do that, you got to be a solid cook, number one, and then to go out there and hope everything falls in your way, because you can have the best cook of your life. We all know that, and finish out of the top 10. So it's
so really, I'll stop you there though, Rob. But number 1 or is not that you have to be a good cook. You have to be at a cook-off that's a Jack qualifier if you're going to get 7.
Well, there you
and
go.
You can, you know what I mean? You're not going to ever get to 7 if you're not cooking qualifiers. And for me, that was a lot, but I've looked at it that way for a few years now. So if you're really chasing the Jack, man, you can't do it at a cook-off that doesn't qualify for it.
Well, I am going to be at the Jack this year, so you can just map it out. You can just get a buddy that qualifies and go out there and be part of his team, which is what my plan is to do.
And a quick comment we talked about bungs in Texas, and I don't know the number, but just say it's 100 or 150. It's a lot, right? And it's
right.
The odds of getting drawn in Texas are very slim. Nobody really kind of, is on pins and needles. It's just a miracle draw if you do. But I will say this, my 7, and then now Randall's 8. I think he has 8, and then Anna and Scotty, those 7. Man, there's over 20 bungs that won't go in that pool or count to the person that's drawn out of Texas. So everybody's odds got better because of that.
That's a great point. Yeah, absolutely. So you never know. You got to get lucky in a comp. You got to get lucky when they're pulling them bungs. But dude, Phil, you've always killed it. You're a great inspiration to a lot of cooks. Like I said, that take your class, and it gets harder and harder, I would think, for you to go out there and do what you're doing, because you are sharing the wealth and you're sharing the knowledge that you've acquired over these 8 years that you've been doing this thing. So talk about that. Does that play in the back of your mind at all, or are you just like, whatever?
Man, I guess it's something I think about. It doesn't really bother me. I'm always one that I like to be pushed anyway. And I started cooking in 2015. Here we are in 2022. And to me, it's just been a steady progression of, from like, if a field of 50 teams and you've got the bottom here and you've got the top here, it's just going like this steadily in the past, 8 years or so, to where, the worst team in the field, man, they can definitely walk. They might can win the contest. So I just think it shrinks that narrow when I teach somebody everything that I know. I just know by stats of how those people do afterwards. Man, I've seen people the next weekend with not a stitch of anything I use. So it's in people's nature to go take a class, pick it apart, and go, man, that's the missing piece, or that's what I was doing wrong, and not really run my system or exactly what I do. But a few people do, and they do really well. And a few people just add bits and parts of it and do well as well. But most people, I feel like, don't even give it a shot. So, it doesn't really bother me telling people every single thing that I do. And even doing that, man, they're probably on a different cooker. Little bit different methods here or there, and everybody wants to make it their own. So it's very seldom, I think, exactly replicated.
All right, Jeff Dennison brings up a good question, which I was going to talk about as well. We got the Royal coming up. We got the Jack coming up. Anybody that's interested in doing KCBS contest, obviously we got Chris Schafer in the house. We'll bring him up in just a minute. But talk about this class you have with Bill Purvis coming up. That's coming up in a couple weeks, right? Or it's pretty soon.
Yeah,
right?
It's August 13th and 14th. It'll be in Bandera. We try to pick somewhere centrally located. It's at our place. Rob, you're familiar with it, man. AC. It's nice in August. But yeah, so I'll be doing 3 meets. Bill will be doing 3 meets. It's 6 meets. And we'll be unloading everything in the bag of tricks that we have for KCBS, and in hopes that KCBS expands in Texas. And man, you saw the traction from everyone going to the American Royal. I think it rounds off cooks even larger, and it definitely applies to cooking in Texas. I cooked basically out of state the entire year last year, and I come right back to Texas, and I'm cooking the same stuff all around the nation. Yeah.
Robert Smith's got some experience with this, teaching people. He's like, just run the class, damn it, run the class. But
just something kind of inside that we say. I think that we all, me too. All of a sudden we all go through lulls or this and that, and you want to reinvent the wheel after that, and it all kind of circles back to run the class. We all get simplified and back to where we were once we get off in left field.
Well, Phil, you've had a hell of a season. We're going to bring Chris back in just a second, but I want to thank you for everything you've done for our game, my game for certain, and what you're doing. And I would ask you, anybody you want to thank, but I know your wife is a big part of your team as well. But I've seen you use LC BBQ products pretty much exclusively. You might throw something here and there, but I'd say 78%, 80% of your stuff is your product. So it is a fine product, and anybody that has used it, and people are using it all over the country, like I mentioned earlier. And it's LC Barbecue. You can find those at lcbarbecueshop.com. You can also find them at the barbecue store.
Question for you, Phil, especially about the brand. So we had Darian on here before Cosmos, and Cosmos got to the point in his career that his brand was becoming bigger than him as a comp cook. When you started LC, I remember, ringing the bells and who was using that chicken injection. And from where your brand is today, do you find yourself moving closer to a career as a just pure barbecue brand, or is the competing part of it always going to be part of your success story?
Man, the competing part will be part of my story as long as I have the drive to go compete. I mean, I don't have to cook every weekend. I just like to. And when I don't like to no more, I would imagine that it would become something more of, only the brand and more of an ambassador type where I can get teams to go out and really, and that'll only be done as somebody who believes in it as much as I do, not just kind of a front or whatever. But yeah, the business has grown. We're 4 years old, so we're pretty young in terms, but we're over doubling and tripling every year. So it's growing, and that I let happen organically. It's not something I want to rush. It's a big deal to me not to bring a product to market that doesn't deserve to be there in my mind. So things don't happen fast, but we've got several products we're working on now with, ideas of 10, 20, 30 more products. I mean, I don't see any signs of slowing down on building the brand and the products that we release to market.
All right. That was a great question, Case. And so Kent wanted me, Daddy Dutch, tell Phil I literally just placed an order an hour ago. All right. Well,
thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Hey, Rob, I do want to say, man, I don't thank my family enough. I've competed every weekend pretty much for the past 4 or 5 years. And, they do support me tremendously. I miss a lot of things because I'm gone a lot. But man, they couldn't support me more. And to my sponsor, Royal Oak, man, this is my first year with Royal Oak, and I'm going to the Jack. I don't really think that's a coincidence. So I appreciate the support. And, it's not final yet. We're still in the works, but I'm talking to Skittles and we're trying to work some stuff out. But anyway, we won't go there yet. So.
All right, there it was. Phil Breeden. Play the clip, Phil Breeden from LC Barbecue. All right, let's bring Chris Schafer back in here, and we'll wrap this up because I feel like you guys, y'all. I wanted to touch on the fact that Phil, you went up and did that KCBS tour. I say tour, but you went up there and really focused on KCBS last year. Chris, I'm sure you saw him at a few contests more often than you had seen him in the past.
Yeah, that was real cool because I knew Phil from social media and things like that, but never got to cook against him. But we got to cook against each other a lot last year. Became really good buddies, and I'm talking, we were next to each other in Myrtle Beach, and we were next to each other in Chicago. As crazy as it sounds, you know what I mean? So. Getting to see his son win Kids Q time and time again and stuff, and how excited Phil would get for that. I mean, it was really cool to get to know Phil with him running KCBS last year.
So, Chris, you saw a lot of Texas teams, and last year at the Royal, there was a big push for Texas teams to go up there, and which I felt like that was my 5th year to attend the Royal. It just felt like that there was a lot more Texas teams in attendance, and they were making a bunch of noise. What did you notice about that? And I know you competed against Phil and like Lee Hickle, Bill Purvis, yep. Fred, obviously. Were you surprised, or were you taken aback by that at all, or was that?
No, just not at all. Not at all. I know there's a ton of good cooks out of Texas, and Texas is such a big place that it's hard for them to get up and see us. And I had a conversation with Fred at Dallas for the World Foods, and it took Fred as long to get to Dallas as it did me from St. Louis. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's hard for the Texas boys to get up and really cook against us. And I wasn't surprised at all. And I just know some of these guys are some of the best in the world.
Yeah, it was fun to see as somebody that promotes Texas barbecue and to see how well that they did in the rules. But it's a different scene for us to go up there and do that and basically play in the sandbox, unless you're somebody like Phil that has done it. Phil probably did. I don't know how many contests he did last year. Lee, I know Phil knows how many Phil did last
40.
year, but 40
KCBS. I did 54 in the calendar year of 21 total.
See, I knew that. And yeah, just like for me to go up and unless they're down here, but to actually go and like Bill lives in my area, and for him to go and travel 8+ hours every weekend and come back, 8+ hours in just a single weekend to compete in a KCBS event was just nuts to me. And hats off to those guys that do that. And it showed. Bill got like a second place chicken, and it's something that you have to adjust to. And I love cooking KCBS style. That 30-minute window is a challenge. It's just a different sandbox, like I said. But hats off to you guys to do that every weekend, man. That's fun.
I will tell you this though. I bought my new trailer from a cook team out of Houston, and he had an LC sticker on the fridge. I made him knock $50 off the price.
But you also had a So Smoking Gooder Show sticker on the fridge as well, I heard.
Yeah, I scraped that off.
I scraped that off.
For those that don't know, Chris also does a podcast called All That for 6 Pieces. How's that going, or is that going?
More podcasts than ours? This is bullshit.
I haven't recorded a show in about a year. After opening the restaurant and competing as much as I do and still trying to be a good dad and husband and stuff, the podcast went to the wayside.
You hear that, Rob? The podcast can go to the wayside. One thing I've noticed, a lot of people realize is everybody's been really good at thanking their wives tonight. Rob, are you taking notes?
Yes, I am. And Robert Smith. Robert Smith is like Robert Smith is like, hello, damn it. He's driving home from KCBS.
I got to see Robert this weekend, man. That's one of the coolest dudes in barbecue. I've never seen somebody so excited about like everything in my life. I love that guy.
High energy, and lots of Coors Lights.
Yes. He had a cooler that you could fit 5 bodies in. And I was like, hey, man, you got a bottle of water? He's like, yeah, right there. And I grabbed a bottle of water out, and this thing, it's like 3 ounces of water, but he's got 400 beers in there. I was like, dude, you need to hydrate.
You want to see the gut pile.
He's also got the coolest beer can cooler. It's like spring loaded, and you can probably shoot a can to somebody about 12 feet away. That's pretty cool.
You mentioned the podcast, though. If you haven't listened to Phil's episode on my podcast, you're missing out, man. That's one of the best we've ever done.
Did that go viral or something, Chris?
Is that the burn
barrel?
What's that?
Was that like a viral podcast or something?
It was a good one, man. When you talked about your burn barrel and burn the bottom out of your wooden drum and everything. It was a good one.
Hey, Tom, what's the story? Obviously, I haven't listened to your podcast.
Just go listen to the podcast. It's too long.
Yeah,
it's a long one.
Phil started cooking on a actual wooden barrel, and he burned the shit out of it at his first contest, and so.
So I did want to hit on a couple things Phil said back to the Jack, though.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't think about the fact that the guys that hit the 7, how all their draws come out. And I went down to Mississippi. That was Mississippi was my 7th, and there were only 3 competitions, I guess, in Mississippi that were qualifiers. And when I won that one, I texted my buddy who had one of the draws, and I said, "You're welcome," because his odds just went from 33% to 50% because I won the 3rd one and pulled it out. In Illinois, I think 2019, I think I had 6 draws in Illinois, and so when I won I got my 7th, that pulls 6 draws out of one state. So it is a cool thing. And I also you talk about like setting goals. I don't think any of us ever set out to get 7. I don't think that's like ever the goal. You want to cook the Jack, but I think you just set out to have a good year, and then you find yourself at 3, 4, 5 wins and go, oh shit, I could get to 7. But I don't think anybody sets out to get 7.
Seven is hard. Like we mentioned, all the challenges you have to do that. A, you gotta is like you gotta find a qualifier, right? But B, you gotta be a solid cook, and we all know, we've all had that, like I mentioned, where we feel real good about our cooks, and then we're sitting out of the top 10. We're like, what the fuck? What the hell just happened? And so there's a lot of factors that go in there to do that, and for all of you guys tonight that have been on the show, Anna and Scotty, Randall Kendrick, Phil Breeden, Chris Schafer, and I forgot Brad. But for those
we didn't
guys,
forget Brad. We saw
Yes.
Brad on TV this week. He talked enough.
I saw him.
But it's one of those things too. Like I had a year that I had 6 and didn't get a draw. I had a year I had 5. I had a year I had 4. I had a year I had 3 and don't get a draw. And it's like the only way I've made it there is to get to 7. And so it's kind of like my new goal now is like I want to cook the jack. I got to get 7 because I can't get 6 and get a draw.
Man, I had like I think we figured it was 1 and 3 in Nebraska last year because Holdridge, I won day 2 and Kit Parton won day 1, and then High IQ was the other team. So like between me and him, we had a 66% chance, and they picked High IQ, and it's like, man, if you want to get to the jack, you better win 7 because I don't care how good your odds are, it's not in your hands. But
like,
obviously, it's not easy to do.
I don't know how well you guys know a good buddy of mine, Drew Davis with Razorbacks.
Yeah.
He's Arkansas. And Arkansas has only usually got 3-4 cooks, and he'll win 1 or 2 of them. But he's been to the jack probably 4 times because a lot of times an out-of-state team will win for Arkansas, and he's one of the only guys in Arkansas that has a GC, so he gets that home state draw, So there's other ways to get in.
Well, the problem with that theory is you'd have to actually live in Arkansas. So that's out the window.
Yeah.
I hope y'all don't hear my dog whining. She wants to go outside. But let me get back to LC barbecue over here. No, that's
I thought like, man, does that say Texas Oil does?
It says LC. You can't see through those shades. You're like, I don't know where you are. You're like
he's in a deer stand, obviously.
You look like you're about to do an album covers coming out of the darkness right there.
I do got to say this, or he's going to text me and hate my guts. Brad has 7. Brad won the jack, and Brad won Memphis in May. So he qualified 3 times, and you guys didn't invite him, and that just makes me so happy.
Just to be clear, after I saw his performance on Food Network, he didn't qualify for the show tonight.
when my research department is Phil Breeden and Bill Purvis, I was just like, no, that's it. That's 7. That's it. Those are the only 7. I was like, and
man,
then when I
told you, ask Pam. I said, man, that's the only ones I know of.
Yeah,
don't pin this shit on me. I told you, I said, I'm sure Brad does, but he probably won 20. Bill, and he won the jack. So figure out how you want to put him in there.
Bill Purvis agreed with you as well, and so
if
you win the jack. I mean, come on.
I'll tell you this though. I know Joe Pierce has 6, and he's got a double this weekend, and so
man,
I could see
that's how hard it is. It feels like Joe has 20, right?
Yep.
And Joe has 6. That's how hard it is. It feels like Joe won everything, and he's sitting on 6. So it's crazy to me.
What I've learned about the jack too is it depends on when you get hot. And a lot of the times I'm usually hot the end
years.
of the
you go early summer to late summer, and it's different years.
Yeah, so I'm hot like the end of the KCBS year, but that's the beginning of the jack year. So it starts August 1st and runs through the end of July. Well, between August and November, I had 6 wins. Because I got hot. I only had 9 wins last year, but 6 of them became between August and November.
Man, we don't get to pick when we get hot most of the time either. So you can just cook the events. And to me, you got to put good barbecue in front of them the best you can every time and pluck them off when it's your day.
I actually don't worry about this at all. I just want y'all to know
that. I've been crazy. 0 brain consumption on any of this.
Yes. Yeah. I'm excited to see y'all's post. I saw your Jack Daniels picture on Facebook. I put 2 and 2 together, so. Yeah, I'm excited for y'all, but this is something I never stress out about. A lot of people don't know that.
When I submitted your name to be that typical shitty cook to Food Network, they just replied, never heard of her.
Damn it. Which is why I should have qualified for that role. I could burn shit.
You can burn some chicken and keep it on the grate.
Put a family photo on my shirt and Phil, I saw you on the damn show. Rob just won't let me talk about it.
No, shut up. All right. Well, that was awesome, guys, and I hope you guys do well. I'm excited to see how it all plays out at the Jack Daniels Invitational. What are the dates of the Jack? Anybody know?
October 14th.
October
15th.
14th. So
That weekend.
is this something y'all going to arrive early for and get up there and take a whole week to do?
Man, we're going to get up there on Wednesday. You know, we're going to try to me, it's our first time going to Jack. I might never go back. Who knows? I'll try to soak in as much as we can. And for us, we'll take Wednesday and Thursday for that. And then, you know, Friday, it's already really game time. Saturday's the cook-off. I know they got the thing on the hill and some things late. On Friday evening, we'll try to partake in if it doesn't interfere with anything we got prepping for the cook. Some guys gave me that heads up, so try to get your meat stuff done early, but that's kind of our plan. And then we'll leave out Sunday morning, head home, or wherever we go from there.
Lynchburg, have y'all? I know you've been in 2019. We're feeling good. Have you been to Lynchburg?
Me?
Yeah, I know you have.
I've never been. I've never been to the Jack, and I've never been to like visit the Jack, or I've never been to. I've been to Tennessee, but never.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're going to go up early. Try to experience it, but the Royals 2 weeks before that, so we got a ton of travel built in.
Yeah.
Are we getting feedback?
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody.
Well, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank y'all very much for coming on the show and being a part of this deal. It was fun.
Thanks for the invite, Rob.
Thanks, guys.
You're officially ahead of me the times I've been on Schafer's show now, so you're back in the lead.
You're on our show every week.
All right, let me let y'all get. All right, that was Phil.
Damn it, we didn't get to figure out who was creating the
Phil.
feedback.
It was Phil.
Damn it, Phil.
Damn it, Phil.
Play the video.
Yeah, let me do a quick video, and then we'll do the wrap up recap and the upcoming event segment, and then we'll get out of here because I appreciate you guys sticking around. We got 45,000 people still watching, an hour and 40 minutes in, but this has been a great show. But let's play a couple videos real quick, and then we'll do the bull printing wraps and graphics wrap up recap, and we'll do the Briscoe Ranch cook-off at the Crossroads upcoming event segment, and then we'll get out of here. So y'all stick around, y'all stay with us, and then we'll talk about next week's show. So let's go with some videos real quick. We'll do the play the clip, of course.
Hey everybody, Phil Breeden, owner and founder of LC Barbecue, and you're watching the So Smoking Gooder Show.
Why is that not playing? There we go.
This is Tom Fuentes from Smoking Onions, and you are watching the So Smoking Gooder Show. Stupid beer, hey!
Shout out to Phil and my boy Tom Fuentes with the Smoking Onions. All right, so let's do them real quick. We're going to do the bull printing wraps and graphics wrap up recap. And here we go with that. I'm going to put that up real quick. And let me put this banner back up here. I wanted to bring on the latest one, and we'll hit the others up, guys. If you're watching and you're a sponsor of the show, thank you very much. This isn't just a one-time deal. We're going to have these going all the time where sponsors of the show get a segment on here. So, all right, in the Champions Barbecue Alliance, the Robert Rubio Memorial Cook-Off over in Alpine, Texas. The grand champion of that event was J.D. Henley from Buckshot Barbecue. And the reserve grand champion was our friend and sponsor, Aaron Leslie from Texas Oil Dust. Congratulations, those guys. That was at the Champions Barbecue Alliance. There's not a lot of cook-offs going on right now. It is hot.
It's hot.
It's just stupid hot right now. Over in the IBCA, the Cuero Volunteer Fire Department Cook-Off. The grand champion, the guy that we had on the show earlier tonight, Randall Kendrick from Hideaway Ranch. I'm not. That was a state championship. So as Phil mentioned earlier on, not only did he have 7, he actually finished with 8. So congratulations to. I know, right? Why not? Why not one more? I mean, let's just knock it out while I have the opportunity to. Grand champion was Randall Kendrick, Hideaway Ranch Cookers, and the reserve grand champion was our good friend Ira Green from Flying G Barbecue. And because you did well, Ira, guess what you get to hear?
I'm Ira Green from Kingsbury, Texas with Flying G Barbecue. You're watching live on the Smoking Gooder Show. So Smoking Gooder Show. I fucked that all up. Ira Green with Flying G Barbecue from Kingsbury, Texas, watching live. Ira Green with Flying G Barbecue from Kingsbury, Texas, and you're watching the So Smoking Gooder Show.
That's still one of my favorites. Next to yours, Case, of course. That one is congratulations to Ira Green and Randall for that, and IBCA, the Cuero Volunteer Fire Department Cook-Off, over in the Outlaw Barbecue Association. Grand champion was Scotty Bryce, another one we had on the show. That's where they got their 7 right there, East Texas Smokers, Anna and Scotty. And the RGC was Ricky Negra, from We Dem Boys. They Dem Boys, Case.
We Dem Boys.
They Dem Boys. All right, nothing in Lone Star last weekend. We're going to skip ahead to we're going to remove this right here. We're going to go to the Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads upcoming event segment. Prayers for the city of Uvalde, of course. Guys, if you guys have the opportunity, willing and able to go to Uvalde, Texas, December 9th and 10th, 2022. Coming up real soon. It'll be here before you know it. We are already entering August. Crazy. 8th month of the year. It's going to be fast approaching. Christmas is around the corner. Football is around the corner. You know, it's my favorite part of the year. Once my birthday hits, it all is downhill for the rest of the year, which I like it. All right. Over in the Champions Barbecue Alliance, Stevensville, Elks Lodge, 2nd annual cook-off in Dublin, Texas. That is coming up this weekend. And we got the back-to-school cook-off in McAllen, Texas, also this weekend. Over in Clute. What do you know about Clute, Texas? Case?
No clue.
Really? It is down by, Stephen Oler in that area.
I know the area. I just don't know shit about Clute.
Oh, okay. Well, it's the Great Texas Mosquito Festival that's going to be going on this weekend in Clute. I believe it may be capped at the moment. So if you're looking for that, that would get you, if you win that one, that would get you a qualifier. Over in the IBCA, the Hill Country Rally for Kids in Driftwood, Texas, the Moulton Jamboree Barbecue Cook-Off in Moulton, Texas, and the Tried and True Helping Hands Cook-Off in Kermit, Texas. That is over in the IBCA event. IBCA, sanctioning body. And in Lone Star, they have a cook-off this weekend at Gordon Volunteer Fire Department in Gordon, Texas. Nothing in the Outlaw. So, this is the time of year. It seems like now's the time if you want to go out there and try and win one of these events. They are slim to none. There's not a lot going on right now. It is hot. That's why I'm not cooking.
That's my goal next weekend. I'm telling you.
What is next weekend for you?
Schulenburg Festival.
Are you doing that one?
I am loaded up and heading to Schulenburg next weekend.
This was not on the radar. I thought you were doing Hutto was the next one you were going
to do. I am doing Hutto also.
All right, so Schulenburg.
I'm chasing points this year with 3 cook-offs.
All right, so next weekend in Schulenburg is IBCA?
IBCA Schulenburg Festival. They've got power available. It's a great venue. And then, you get extra passes to stay in for the actual festival. Roger Krager, Kevin Fowler on Saturday night, rodeo. And, come. Yeah, if you're going to be in Schulenburg, hit me up in the comments. I'll be out there.
All right. Finally, show sucks. Once I start doing the bull printing wraps and graphics wrap-up recap, come on, Tony, top fan Tony. We need to get him back as Mike Ojos for certain. All right. Hey, what a great show tonight. We've had some heavy hitters on the show tonight. We had 4 teams that had just been killing it, working their ass off to hit number 7. And it was a pleasure to talk to all of them. Anna and Scotty Bryce with East Texas Smokers, Randall Kendrick with Hideaway Ranch Cookers. We had Chris Schafer back on again, representing Missouri and St. Louis with Heavy Smoke. And we had Play the Clip, Phil Breeden from LC Barbecue. What a great show tonight. Robert Smith, thank you very much. Great job, Robert. I appreciate you. That is a world champion watching. Corby Simpkins checking us out. Another solid show. Thank you very much. Anna and Scotty.
One favor to ask before we wrap it up. Everybody who's still watching, just because I watched them get all teary-eyed about it at the party, if you're still watching the show, I need you to get in the comments right now and wish this man a big happy birthday. Happy birthday, Rob, as your 40s are coming to an end. But if you're still watching the show, say something sweet about Rob. Put it in the comments. Tell the man happy birthday. I really think his goal is to make the show make it to midnight so we can actually celebrate his birthday. I don't think we're going to make it that far. And so if you're still watching tonight, smash it out in those comments. Happy birthday to my good buddy, Rob.
I appreciate that, Case. No, I am not making this show last until midnight tonight, but I have a open invitation at my office to not go to work tomorrow. So depending on what happens tonight, I may or may not go to work tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But since I'm at home and I'm not going anywhere, I'll probably go to work tomorrow. Should I spend the 50th?
Special shout out to Bill Purvis for splitting the cost of the stripper at the party for Rob. Thanks, Bill. Couldn't afford it without you.
There was no stripper at the party that I can remember. So if there was, whoever got the benefit of that, good for you. That's like getting a bung draw. And can we talk about the name Bung? Did you get drawn for the Jack?
How do you not remember your orange underwear wearing stripper that Bill?
Oh, that stripper, of course. Yes, I do remember that stripper.
So your wife is thanking everybody at the party. This is exactly how this went down. I don't know if I talked to you about it or not, but I'm standing there and I was like, man, Jason, I will give you $20 to take your clothes off for Rob's birthday. And I said, hell, and I smacked Bill and I said, I bet you he'll give me $20. I said $40 and next thing you know, he was gone and the clothes were coming off. So thank you, Bill Purvis and Chicken Fried Barbecue for helping support the cause.
Shout out to Larry Zimmerman. I got to talk to him in depth for a little bit at the Hempstead Watermelon Festival. It was a pleasure. Larry's a great guy. Jared McCrory, thank you so much. Ed Foster, CB, Barbosa, thank you very much. Corby, Becky, thank you for the birthday wishes. Robert A. Smith, I appreciate you, my man. Fred Robles, sexiest legs in barbecue. At least somebody notices, even if it's only Fred. I appreciate that. The shorty shorts have been working, and I will continue. Sorry for everybody that is offended by my shorties, but including my buddy Danny Regan. He does not like the shorty. He does not like the shorty shorts, my man. But all right, guys. So thank you very much for watching the show. It was a great show tonight. Thank you. We had a high attendance watching for the night, Case. It was awesome. We got up into the 60,000. So it's always a good show whenever I'm teamed up with my show partner, Mr. Case Hahn. But when he can't do it, we will have some special co-host, Tony Tanache, Top Fan Tony, Bell Clark, whoever it may be. But thank you very much. That is going to wrap this up, my man. What else do we want to talk about before we get out of here? That's it?
Man, I'm good. What a fantastic show. Fantastic guest tonight. And just remarkable year and accomplishment for all those cooks. Man, congratulations to all of y'all, and good luck in the Jack Daniels.
Yeah, so I will be attending the Jack this year with Play the Clip Bill. I kind of just told him that I was going to be there, but hey, it works out. I'll help him out. I'll do what I can. I know the process. We'll make this work. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning into the show. This is the final one in my 40s. The next time you see this face will be officially in the 50s. Crazy.
Yeah.
Case, are you even 40 yet?
Let it soak in, old fella.
Are you even 40 yet, Case?
No, I still got another year to go.
Son of a bitch, I'm old. Golly. All right, well, that's going to
On
wrap up
that
the
note, I
show.
can tell you this. Man, happy birthday, buddy. Hey, for everybody, congrats again for everybody who was on the show tonight. Thanks for everybody in the comments. We enjoyed the feedback and go back and read through them afterwards. But I don't have anything else. But good night, Barbecue Nation. You too, California. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, we will be talking about Barbecue USA next weekend. We'll get maybe Fred on. Fred's in the comments right now. We'll get Bill on, and we'll see
You
who
say
else.
Phil or Bill?
Bill. We'll get Bill on. We'll see who else we can get on the show. Hey, thanks for tuning into the show, guys. We're out. We'll see you.